Alright, new chapter released, so let's adventure ourselves into chapter 4 of the main original game. There you go, Cloud's Memories, specifically the Nibelheim flashback.
Now this is a story all about how my smile got turned right upside down.
Determined to find Sephiroth, Cloud and the others arrive at Kalm, a town near Midgar, and head to the inn for some much-needed rest.
So, let's hear your story. You know, the one about Sephiroth and the crisis facing the planet. Let's hear it all.
No, Barrett, you have to say the crisis TM facing the planet.
Yes, because that's how we will pretty much...
It's part of the title, we're contractually obligated to register the trademark.
Yeah, the crisis TM.
It's pretty much 80% of our games have the term crisis in them.
No, it's the combination of Ever Crisis that you have to worry about.
I used to want to be like Sephiroth, so I joined Soldier. Back when Sephiroth was like...
My hair's still not long enough, though.
I had a ponytail back in the day. After working with him on several missions, we became friends.
Also, there was a guy called Genesis, but we don't talk about him.
Yeah, he was weird. Just like that?
Yeah, we don't talk about that, please. Let's not talk about
Oh, don't worry, Pedro, we will.
I know, I'm recording that game anyway.
No, it's not even that,
No,
Pedro.
even in this game.
Let me put it this way, but again, I'll wait until the battle to mention, go on.
He was older than me and barely ever talked about himself. Which is a shame, because it sounds like he had good friends back then, too. I guess you'd call us war buddies. We trusted each other until one day, when he got a little tipsy.
One day?
The truth about 5 years ago.
One could say it was one bad day. After the war, it was Soldier's duty to put down any resistance against Shinra. That was 5 years ago. I was 16.
Not only did he steal the Kit Kat from the fridge, he bit into it.
Yummy.
A monster. It was
An
a
absolute
chunky as well.
madman.
Those are nice.
You're supposed to pick them apart. You don't bite into it like a heathen.
No, Sherry, it was a chunky.
I don't know what
Oh,
that
it
I know
sure
what
is
that
raining hard. Hey, how are you doing?
I'm alright.
Motion sickness, huh? I wish I could help, but I've never gotten it, so I wouldn't know how to cope. Sorry.
But you can vomit into your own helmet.
Ew.
Everything okay?
Well, what else
Hey,
is it?
come on.
Hey, settle down.
What? I'm just showing concern for everyone. They gave me some new materia. I can't wait to use it.
And yeah, so they brought back the squatting animation because that's basically a standard for this franchise.
Just like a kid.
Oh, like you weren't a kid yourself one time. You gonna brief us about this mission?
Hey, come on.
Not much to say. Just kill these people.
This isn't a typical one.
Good.
Why do you say that?
Even though what the mission is.
Well, I assume it'll be a good time. I joined soldiers so I could be like you. But by the time I made first class, the war was already over.
And we're certainly no other factions warring around that point. Nope.
Mm-hmm. My hopes of becoming a hero like you ended with the war. You know, you gotta love the magic of being the first game of what eventually becomes a gigantic enterprise. Because suddenly it goes from this one little thing to, actually, this entire gigantic conspiracy was going on. Case in point, the Raccoon City incident of Resident Evil.
I thought you wanted a briefing. Also, Cloud, if you feel that bad about it, you can visit this place. It's called Zanzibar Island. I'm sure Big Boss will find some purpose for you.
Maybe.
Our mission is to investigate an old Mako reactor.
This was before
Ah.
Cloud was in Smash. He doesn't know what they are.
There have been reports of it malfunctioning and producing brutal creatures.
That is a
Yeah.
good point. Now that he's met Snake, he probably does know what Zanzibar
First, we'll dispose
is.
of those creatures, then we'll figure out the source of the problem and deal with it. You see, Cloud, there.
And also-
sorry, go on.
Also, when you think about it, both Cloud and Snake are super soldiers. Brutal creatures? Where?
Well, you see, the microreactor at Nibelheim, it created an awesome monster that kills you when time runs out.
Oh, that sounds like a fun boss fight. Nibelheim.
It's not.
Wait a minute. That's where I'm from.
Literally,
I
in
sure
Germany, in Germany, it's literally translated as Cloud's home.
Your hometown.
Yeah.
I see.
Well, hopefully
Sir,
nothing bad happens
something
there.
strange just crashed into a truck.
What could that be?
It's just a dragon. Come on. Let's
Just
get
a dragon.
let's get to work, Cloud.
I get the idea they worded it specifically like that to show how Sephiroth is desensitized because he's just that strong.
I'm pretty sure that's the idea. Yeah.
You don't get to.
Interesting.
You sadly don't get to fight it now, which is
See,
weird because
in the
you
rebirth-
do, you do get a fight against the dragon later in this chapter. So why you couldn't put it here, I have no fucking idea.
See, in the rebirth version of this scene, you play as Sephiroth and you kill the dragon basically instantly, like a true shonen badass. So
You don't. That's the thing. In Rebirth, we don't even make you fight the technically dragon, the one green dragon, but instead two smaller ones for some reason.
Sephiroth's strength is incredible.
So, where do you come in?
I'm pretty sure I've already came into the
Well,
story.
I was his awesome number 2. His, partner. Yeah.
Partner, huh?
Mm-hmm.
I was mesmerized by the way Sephiroth fought.
Yeah, you
Oh.
two dated.
And then Tifa's like, I thought,
I
aren't
was-
you mesmerized by how I fight?
I'm mesmerized by your everything, Tifa.
It's not a
I'm
good
not
time.
Always better
mesmerized by
than me, huh?
Sure, it's not a good time to mention that due to plot and consistency reason in Rebirth, Sephiroth in this sequence calls Cloud a puppy. Yeah.
Oh god.
How does it feel?
That's his.
It's your first time back in a long time, right?
Is that like Godo calling me a kitten like the whole
okay.
fucking time?
It's not. It's more of a remnant of something that happened in Crisis Core, basically.
Alright.
I wouldn't know because I don't have a hometown.
Oh,
Bummer.
that's sad. I was actually born in a lab. What about your parents?
I
Oh
don't wanna
god,
talk about
no.
it.
No.
Well, I'm sure he has good times with his dad.
My mother, Genova, died shortly after I was born. My father,
It's a piece of shit, so I don't
You
talk
went to get milk and never came back.
Technically, Hojo stuck around for experiments.
what does it matter?
Well, look at the bright side. You inherited a long, silky mane of hair from your father.
Come on, let's go.
Okay.
Why do I get the feeling Hojo doesn't exactly have a world's greatest egg mug? Yo, wait a minute. Stop everything. The name of Sephiroth's mother, isn't that Genova, right. That's a damn headless spook living in the Shinra building. Yeah.
Yeah.
Barrett, would you please let us hear what Cloud has to say? You can ask questions later.
Not Tifa listening so that she can go over any contradictions in her own mind.
Yeah, she has to fight the urge to say objection or something.
Tifa, I was only...
Shut
Hold
up!
it! Okay, Cloud, continue.
Continue,
Ouch.
continue your testimony.
Why do I feel like I'm on trial all of a sudden?
Oh, you are.
Back to the flashback. Sorry I couldn't go over the awesome battle we had with the dragon.
Can share it on screen.
The town was quiet. Too quiet. Everyone must have been in their houses afraid to come out because of the monsters. Which were not in the original game, but in this case, gotcha game, so gotta put in some missions. Or maybe they were just afraid of us. What are you looking at?
This scenery. I feel like I know this place.
Yeah, you've been here for an Halloween event, but those tend to be not canon, so...
We leave for the reactor at dawn. Make sure you turn in early. Haha, but you're forgetting something too. This is now a multiverse, which means maybe I visit that place in a different universe. All we need is one lookout, so everyone else gets some rest.
Cloud, you're the lookout.
Oh, and
Why me?
you may visit your family and friends or whatever.
Yo,
cool.
don't need as much sleep.
I've also hired a guide to lead us to the Mako reactor. I heard she's young. I hope we can rely on her because, as we all know, young people are always unreliable. Ha 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 ha.
You're not exactly that old yourself.
Shut up, my wind is
Shucks.
beautiful. My hair is blowing beautifully in the wind.
Yeah. Get your multiple bottles of shampoo ready for the next day.
Yeah, but
No, that's Pedro.
That's me. Yeah, but I'm nervous as hell.
Why?
because I threw up all over your Buster Sword.
Monsters could attack at any time, right? Remember, Dwebs, who's the real person that was in this scene?
It
Real.
was a bit of a switcheroo.
So we're doing a switcheroo. This is
Yeah.
Zach is the nameless soldier this time. Right, you're here to prove that you're a hero. I hope you get your chance.
Although this dialogue, keep in mind, was not in the original game, so they did bother to, add in a bit to,
Right.
spice up the flavor.
So Zach goes in.
basically-
Sorry, go on.
Going off of the translation that we did in our original playthrough, originally it's Cloud talking to himself essentially, but here they seem to have changed it so that it's more so that Zack is taking what Cloud's role in reality was essentially.
Basically, yeah. Once the guy gets here, we'll go.
I see we skipped
I
over
don't
Cloud
remember
reuniting
voice
with his
Steve had,
mom.
so go on, Lives.
Listen to me, Sephiroth. If something were to happen,
Trust me, nothing will happen.
Promise?
Wouldn't you trust this face?
I'll be all right, Dad. I have two men from Soldier with me.
I
that's
see we
what I'm
skipped.
afraid of.
In case you're
I see
wondering, later on they did had Tifa's cowboy costume of Terramina Poland. Yes, I made sure to get that.
Awesome. I see that we skipped Cloud reuniting with his mom.
Yeah, I get the idea it was a case of we had the flashback already, so they felt it was a bit redundant, which I get that was kind of what happened in the original game.
I'm Tifa. Nice to meet you.
I recently came across it's based on the remake, but the fruitiest ramen commercial.
Oh,
That's
yes.
Yeah, okay, you know it. Good.
It's like it was actually official instead of actually being, a fan content.
Oh
They
yeah, I know
actually
it's
bothered.
official. That's why it's wild.
It was only a matter of time until Sephiroth got into the advertising game.
Honestly, between 15 and this, Square really should do more in-universe advertising for real-life product. I think they're on a roll with these.
Come on. It's right in front of you. Have Sephiroth do a shampoo and hair commercial. Come on.
Get that
He
man in a
literally-
L'Oreal
There's no-
ad now.
There's no problem if you protect your Cloud. After all, it's not like I'm the one who's responsible, so...
Sephiroth, sir, would you mind posing for a picture?
No.
Tifa, can you help me for me too, please?
For the last time, I don't want to be in your L'Oreal advert.
Because he's
You're
worth
selfie,
it.
coward.
I mean, have you looked at my hair? I am totally worth it.
Fine.
I mean, look...
Even in chibi form, that hair.
Alright.
Smile!
Oh, smile.
stands
Okay.
there.
Oh, how do you do this again?
Give it
The
to
sides of
the
your
other one.
mouth upward.
Someone tickle him.
Like, shoot, even Cloud can smile more than you, Seth. Tifa, stay back.
Yeah, here's the thing about this chapter. They let you play as Cloud alone. Yeah, even despite the Sephiroth being there, and the original it was technically a guest. We will have an occasion in a later part where, you know, we revisit this sequence with Sephiroth properly there as a guest to experience it. So don't worry about that. But yeah, it's still, you know, a bit more simplified what they did.
That's
anyway,
right. I was so awesome. I was able to do it all on my
single-handedly.
own.
Here's the thing, Pedro. I don't know, it's not a good time to tell, but you know, it's gonna happen way down the line compared to the part we're now. But not only there's the Crisis Core portion of this game, but you know, the continuation of the story of the first soldier after we complete the mission of Van the others, we'll still talk about Sephiroth, in fact, and how he met Angeal and Genesis as you know, their young versions. So be prepared for that.
Well,
It
does
makes sense when you
it
think about
actually
it.
does it actually explain the friendship between those three better than the main game does?
Seems to be at least going for that way, yes. So I'm actually the hype is real, at least for me.
Okay, fine. Because Crisis Core sucks.
No, that's the thing. I want to repeat this when we get to Crisis Core, but my biggest gripe with that game is that the perspective is completely wrong. It should have been a Sephiroth game instead of being Zack's.
It really should have. Like okay,
it justifies being so and super powerful, you know. It makes more sense because Sephiroth is all about, you know, the people involved around, you know, with the main conflict, you know. And it makes sense for Zack to not be super powerful enough to actually, you know, properly die at the end.
I'm gonna go out on a limb here and say that the reason they made it a Zack game was because they were heavily dead set on like the last part of the game, essentially.
Anyway, go on,
Which-
Jova.
A Maka reactor had been built on Mount Nibel. The cold mountain air was the same as I remembered.
That's the thing, Jova. I argue they could have had their cake and eat it too. They could have made it both a Sephiroth game and a Zack game at the same time. You could have easily done a dual protagonist thing.
Oh, I agree, but my guess is like they were dead set on, you know, focusing it on Zack because, wow, they were kind of sucking Zack's dick at the time, let's be honest. Like, it's weird. Sephiroth and Cloud were obviously the popular ones, but Square had this weird mindset back in the day that, no, Zack was the true hero.
Also, the way Tifa said about being not shaking the bridge, I cannot forget the Shrek joke with the bridge.
Oh no! no.
This way.
Oh no! There's a better one. The one from George in the Jungle. Like, don't worry, this is solid as a rock. And then Seth, and then Zack. And by Zack I mean fake Zack, you know, the soldier Zack falls.
Yeah.
Don't worry, nobody dies in this story. They just get really big boo-boos.
Well, one of them died, and Rebirth is gonna also showcase how nameless goon died.
We lost track of one trooper, but decided we had to press
Let me
on.
put it this way: Rebirth gives a good justification on why they need a guide,
Meanwhile-
and Sephiroth cannot just jump around and arrive to the destination on his own.
Meanwhile, internally, Zack is going, NGO! I'm sorry, I have to do that every 10 minutes.
Cloud is like, who the hell is Angeal?
It's a long, very convoluted and stupid story, Cloud. Go on.
Well, you see, Cloud, there was this guy Genesis who we were talking to while you were comatose sitting on a chair this one time, before he faded into nothingness.
Anyway, Mountain Evil is, as you can imagine, your next dungeon.
Look at all those strange colors.
It's
They
green.
feel so right.
It's all green, Tifa.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not seeing how these colors are strange. There's green, there's brown. It's the Mako. This mountain is especially abundant in it. That's why
it's
the
Mako green, that's why.
that's why the reactor was built here in the first place.
In other news, all of you are sterile now.
Oh, I don't know if Rebirth is anything to go on. Something got pumped back in there. Oh. If we get that out of the way, we should be able to pass
So yeah,
through.
that's your gimmick for this dungeon. Sephiroth will stay on the bench because he's a lazy asshole in this. Cloud will have... I like the transition though. Cloud will have to move around and literally punch boulders in the face like Chris Redfield in order to clean out the way.
That's right. I was so awesome that I was able to punch boulders left and right like I was Superman. We didn't even need Sephiroth. I could have handled it all on my own.
Right.
Yeah.
And yet you still bang like a pussy because one little creature screeches in your face.
You know, honestly, I do wonder if Cloud is telling it this way and like this, like in the original, this obviously probably would have been a sign that something's amiss because Sephiroth's the literal super soldier, yet here's Cloud doing some, well, super soldier stuff, which to be fair, he is technically a super soldier, like I mentioned, but not exactly on Sephiroth's level. I will say the weird thing is, why not have us play as Sephiroth for these moments?
Again, they only had the Sephiroth in his young form, so when it comes to his adult form, later on, the section that will revisit this for different reasons, we'll have him as a guest, character with a pre-made set.
For his technical,
I'm just surprised that they didn't make a playable model for him by the time of this chapter, given how this is where he's playable
it's
in the
pretty clear
original.
this was a deliberate decision.
What's this?
What's this?
What's this?
A Mako spring. It's a miracle. What's this? What's this? It's something very new. What's this? Anyway, yeah, it's a miracle of nature, blah, 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 blah.
It's so beautiful. But if the Mako reactor continues to suck up the energy, springs like these will disappear.
Well, sucks for nature then.
Even in the original game, since that section where we covered with Tifa learning about planetology from Jesse was only mostly implied and never told, the original game had to go with this, with Tifa, understanding, at least the basics of planetology.
Materia. When you condense Mako energy, materia is produced. Also, there should have been a comma there after energy, but whatever. It's very rare to see materia in its natural state.
When it's not a ball. I've always wondered, how does materia let you cast spells? We're asking the real questions now.
You're a soldier, and yet you don't know? Fucking
Maybe after
Hey,
class.
barely tell me anything, okay?
fucking please.
And this is why you're the designated meat shield.
So the knowledge and wisdom of the ancients is sealed within each one. The force gives power. It blinds us. It surrounds us, Cloud. Anyone with this knowledge can freely tap into the power of the land and the planet itself. Though this connection, we can use magic, or so they say. So basically, magic.
So, magic. A mysterious power. So
This is
you're
also
telling
why
me-
you can use the summons, it's the same kind of process.
Did I say something funny?
Yes,
This
the
was
fa-
back
yes,
when
the fact that
Sephiroth
you-
laughed.
Hey,
Yes.
give me a break, man.
Yes, the fact that a soldier doesn't know what this shit. A man once told me never to use unscientific terms like mysterious power. It shouldn't even be called magic.
Let me guess, that was Hojo, wasn't it?
I still remember how angry he was.
Who was that?
Ojo from Shira's science department. A man with a
Yeah.
huge chip on his shoulder who was assigned to take over the place. By the way, be sure to play
Ready or not.
Yeah. Who was assigned to take over the work of a great scientist. Anyway, let's keep moving. Which one, Sephiroth? Because Crisis Core kind of messed
I
up
wouldn't-
that thing.
I wouldn't describe, I forgot his name, Halliger, whatever.
Alliger, yeah. I
Yeah,
think.
as a great scientist, if I had to be honest.
True.
What? What are you talking about, Tio? He was the best. There were
No
a few
comment.
bumps in the road in his experiments. I look. I'm probably the biggest fan of Crisis Core here. I will say this. Crisis Core feels like that kind of prequel where it does add a lot of good stuff, but along the road it adds a lot of stuff that really confuses you regarding the original, I will not lie.
See, the thing is, okay, for as like I was saying,
Pedro.
for as technically flawed and overall problematic the entire multiverse shenanigans from the remake trilogy is, at the very least, I can just enjoy it on a basic entertainment level because it's just that batshit insane, you know? Crisis Core literally puts me to sleep. I am not even kidding you. Crisis Core literally puts me to sleep. Every time Genesis opens his mouth, I just want to just close my eyes and sleep because I have never seen a character in this franchise, the VII franchise, I mean. I have never seen you know what? Actually, no, I'll go even further. The entire Final Fantasy franchise, in fact. I have never seen a character in this franchise speak so much and say absolutely nothing of value.
What about the Super
You
Pope?
do realize you're including the entirety of the
Actually,
13 trilogy.
here's the thing about the
right?
Super Pope. The Super Pope is not as prevalent in his game as Genesis is, because Genesis is a flat-out main character. He's basically the villain. So is the Super Pope. Okay, let me rephrase that. Genesis has more dialogue than the Super Pope does when you actually hate down how much dialogue both of them have in their own game.
Okay, how many of those phrases is not a quote from Loveless?
All of the dialogue of his, like not even just the quotes from Loveless. That's the thing.
No, my point is that barely any lines of dialogue from Genesis is original. He mostly just quotes his damn book.
But that's the thing too. That's exactly why I cannot even believe for the life of me why Loveless is so popular in this universe. Because based on what Genesis says, it sounds like the most pretentious bunch of nonsense I've ever heard.
So you're kind of like Sid instead. If you actually listen to the play, you will fall asleep.
Yeah, I'm literally Sid in this situation too. Very good.
Okay,
Anyway,
I'm curious. Was Loveless ever made into a real book?
I don't think so. There's light up ahead that must lead outside.
I legit wondered if that was a real book, because the way Genesis goes about those quotes, it's like we're supposed to realize how great
you have
they
to
are.
understand, Jova, it's kind of similar to the opera of Maria and Draco from Final Fantasy VI. It technically exists, it has sort of a mini script, but in a very abridged format. The story of Loveless, there's a summary, it's even told in the game what it is, but not the entire script is given. Anyway, there's your boss, the Green Dragon.
Like Sephiroth said, it's just a dragon. Simple.
Again, no idea why is it here. Again, I don't mind because at least it's present, but it really feels like it should have been just in the correct spot.
See, it's
Also, why sure, Sephiroth, I'll do this all on my own. Thanks, no thanks.
It's mostly because Genesis is not, like Theo said, he only speaks lines from Loveless, which basically means that Genesis is not a character. He's a mouthpiece for Loveless. He never has an actual sentence, he says, where he actually speaks for himself as an individual. He's not a character. It's just like nothing that comes out of his mouth is an actual line, a natural, normal human being that you can somehow emotionally connect with would even say. You know what I mean?
But you see the loophole, Pedro. Technically, since Loveless is a book from that universe, it's technically original to us because we haven't read Loveless.
Well, yeah, but here's the thing: we never get to know Genesis as a person. He's just.
What are you talking about, Pedro? It's woe is me. Well, is it okay if I say that bit to you?
Well, we already got some of his part of his backstory from what NGL told us.
Basically, Genesis's deal is, woe is me, I'm a clone, so screw all you guys, I'm gonna ruin your life.
Oh, don't even get me started
We'll
on
be
NGO.
able to see.
Wow, soldiers really are strong.
They're literally built different.
Don't even get me started on NGO. NGO is such a fucking dipshit idiot as well.
My life expectancy was cutting off, but yeah.
Okay, let's go. We've come a long way and should be nearing the Mako reactor soon.
To anyone who hasn't experienced Crisis Core, we probably sound like old men grumbling at a cloud, but
I will take that mental if I have to. I will definitely be the old man yelling at the cloud on this one.
Anyway.
Oh god, so many stairs!
Shut up, it
You're a
was
soldier.
loud.
Deal with it.
Oof, had to take the long way, but we finally made it.
Despite your directions.
Oh, goody, we're here just in time for the luncheon.
Yeah.
Aoife, you wait here. There's absolutely nothing dangerous out here.
I'm going inside too. I want to see.
No, it could be too dangerous. As opposed
For
to out
them.
here where all the monsters are roll.
There's,
Okay,
act-
that's a good point, actually. You can kick butt.
there's actually another reason as Sephiroth is about to say.
Although this is before she gets her special training.
No, she
so-
still was under training from Zang.
Yeah, she's already physically capable at this point.
Well, more so before she completed said training, but I guess she has enough. at
Sorry,
this point.
no civilians. This place is filled with Shinra's industrial secrets.
Yeah. No
Then
civilians.
why
I'll
did
kill-
you left the door open?
Also, yeah, no civilians. I'll kill them all later.
Look,
But
look, I never said we were perfectly competent at it.
That's almost like inviting people to come in.
Take care of the lady.
go to hell.
Not to mention, your hair is nowhere near as beautiful
Sorry,
as
I'm
mine.
not the boss.
So,
Damn it, he's got
Oh! That'd be
No.
something. Sephiroth and Tifa getting into a competition over who has the better kept hair.
Aw,
Hey, you're only 15.
you better keep me safe.
Hey, Cloud, how do you remember this bit if you weren't there?
Yeah, you don't know, Job, you have to put it like
Oh.
DBZ abridged. How did you know the parts?
no, just see, Jova. It's like in Yu-Gi-Oh! Where Tea's talking about that flashback where Yugi saved her. There's a part where the mugger knocks her out, and yet she still somehow remembers what happens after that. So, even little Karibo noted that in his abridged series. I was unconscious for this next part, but somehow I still remember it.
The funny thing is, here, there actually is a good reason about why Cloud would
Yeah,
remember
yeah.
that part.
Alright then, see you for the next part where we finish the Nibelheim flashback. See ya.
So yeah.
See ya.
Then...
Try.